This week, I spent time across the state talking about emotional intelligence, social and emotional skills, and the integration into schools and organizations. And there were two big pieces that stuck out, but I'm going to address one of them this week. And one of the biggest pieces we were talking about is just how critically important it is to build adult capacity. One of the things when it comes to these social and emotional skills and emotional intelligence skills is we have to look at it as skill development, training, background, right? If you don't have the necessary teaching and education and development around those areas, we can't expect it to be implemented and utilized effectively within industries and things like that. So that's a huge piece, because I think oftentimes we'll go to funding and all these other areas that essentially might block or create barriers to this work happening. But at the end of the day, if we don't actually have the skill development around it, it's not going to successfully be implemented and used. If we look at educational programs, undergrad, master's programs, development things, a lot of things in the world of leadership and just being ready for your career in industry don't revolve around emotional intelligence training or different skill sets around that. Like, it just doesn't exist. I know for me personally, I never got this development training until my school partnered with Yale and their Center for Emotional Intelligence. You're talking undergrad in education and a master's in ed leadership, and never once was I exposed to any sort of development around that specifically. This was all a third-party development that I was able to then leverage and utilize within classrooms, teams, and a building. And so when we understand that, we have an obligation and a responsibility to fill those gaps, right? We have to look at prep programs. We have to look at development tracks for any industry to go, okay, if we want someone to be a doctor, a lawyer, an educator, you name it, it doesn't even matter. And they want to lead and they want to be a part of a team and do all of that. They have to have the necessary training and development of those skill sets. We can't just expect, right? It's like kids, when you have kids in class, you expect something and then you reprimand them for not being able to, collaborate, or you get mad at them. But at the same time, it's, have we taught them how to collaborate? And that's the same thing. Regardless of where I was this week, and I was in completely different spaces across the state of North Carolina, that was one of the biggest pieces was we have to build the capacity of the adults. And for me, I'm also coming from, we have to build the capacity of the leaders. These are all lenses through which we do things. And if you don't have a background in it, if you haven't been developed in it, how can we expect someone to bring that skill set to the forefront when they're making decisions, when they're leading, right? And so we have to continue to do that. Building the capacity is incredibly important. And honestly, I think it's twofold. I think it has to happen pre-industry. So I think our schools are responsible for doing that. And we need ongoing support within industry to continue to grow those skills, because these are the most important skills when it comes to any sort of leader, or any sort of component that makes someone successful in what they do.